Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the recently updated Mystery Ranch 3-way expandable briefcase. And I've been a big fan of some of the newer bags that Mystery Ranch has come out with over the past year, like their Catalyst 26 backpack and the District 24. But it was nice to have a chance to revisit one of the bags that's been in their lineup for a bit, but that has gotten a few useful updates. I'm glad that they kept most of what worked about the original version, just some slight tweaks here and there. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to test this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance of the bag is mostly unchanged from the previous edition, so it still has a pretty functional vibe. It's a little more minimal than some of Mystery Ranch's other bags, so it doesn't have a ton of MOLLE webbing or attachment point, but there's still some zippers and handles, so it's not the sleekest appearance. I still think it's a versatile look that's going to work well if you need to take it into a professional setting and also be great for exploring a city or traveling. As far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. The exterior fabric has been updated. It now uses a 500D recycled nylon, which still feels like it's going to hold up well to rougher usage and also offer a pretty decent amount of weather resistance. Besides that, you have some very smooth, reliable YKK zippers all throughout with aqua guards on some of the primary compartments. Continuing along the outside of the bag, there's no external water bottle pockets, which is the same as the previous edition, and something that I've noticed with many of these hybrid style bags, it just doesn't tend to make sense with the ability to add and remove the shoulder strap. You do have a couple of handles on each side that will allow you to kind of pick this up if you're using it in a backpack carry. So that's on the top and on the bottom. These are pretty thin, but still a durable feeling kind of webbing. And then you also have the actual kind of carry straps if you want to use this in briefcase mode. These are a little bit thicker, got kind of almost a seatbelt-like vibe. They're not the most padded, but they're still pretty comfortable to hold. I'm glad that you have two of these handles as well to just give you a little bit more flexibility if you're holding it open, opening it up, and then just to prevent it from digging into your hands quite as much. So this works pretty well. One thing about these handles that I'm not crazy about is that they do stick out quite a bit, particularly if you're wearing it as a backpack. The handles, you can't really hide them away, so they just kind of stick out to the side. Sometimes it can start to move in towards the back, particularly as you're breaking it in. So it might have been nice to find some way to maybe tuck these into the bag somehow. Regardless, they work for the intended purpose of carrying them like a briefcase. And then speaking of different ways to carry this, you can wear this as kind of a shoulder bag or sling this around. They've included a pretty reliable strap here. It's not the most padded, it's fairly simple, but it's very long, so you can adjust it to suit, the way that's going to work best for you to carry it. If you want to wear it on your shoulder, if you want to sling it across your back, you can pull it up to the front so that you can easily reach down and access the pockets. So I think it works really well as a shoulder bag with the way that all the pockets are oriented. The attachment system here has been updated a little bit with the strap, so it has these interesting kind of clips that feel reliable and like they're not going to slide off. Can be a little tricky to get it on and off and get used to the system, but overall it's worked pretty well, and whenever I need to convert it or take this off to use it in a different mode, it hasn't been too cumbersome. If it feels like you're carrying a little bit too much for the shoulder strap, it's nice that you can also convert this into a backpack. So it has hideaway backpack straps. They kind of tuck away into these slots on the back panel. And these are very similar to some of Mystery Ranch's other backpack straps. They always do a great job with their harness systems, in my opinion. So they have a good amount of padding. It's really soft, comfortable right out of the box. On the inside, they have a breathable mesh to help prevent moisture from building up. The straps also have a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out, particularly for this size of bag. One thing to note here is that there is no sternum strap included with the strap, and not really an easy way to add one, at least that I can see. I personally don't think it's a huge deal, just given that the bag isn't that big, but something to call out if that's something that you're looking for to use. And then at the bottom, you have the buckles that actually allow these to attach. So far, it's been a reliable system. And again, with this type of thing, it's always nice to just be able to unclip it quickly and hide the straps away when you want to use them. As far as the back panel, this has been pretty comfortable. It doesn't have a ton of padding, especially compared to some of Mystery Ranch's more kind of just traditional backpacks. There's no sort of mesh padding or breathability or air channels or anything like that. So that's something that you'll have to keep in mind. If you are using it in backpack mode, chances are your back is going to get fairly sweaty. One really nice update here, however, is that there has now been a luggage pass-through added that's going to allow you to comfortably rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Moving into the capacity, the three-way briefcase actually comes in 2 sizes now. That's one of the other big changes. The version that I have here is about 18 liters and it has the ability to expand by about 5 liters, I believe, so it goes up to 23 liters. And then there is a 27 liter edition, which I don't believe has the ability to expand. I'm still partial to this smaller size in particular, as I use this bag mostly as a shoulder bag or as a briefcase. So to me, this is the right size for that type of carry. The 27 liter just felt like it would start to get a little bit cumbersome unless I was using it as a backpack. And so I like that this is a little more compact. It's able to hold most of the items that I typically like to carry with me if it's compressed down, but then having the ability to expand it out is a really useful feature for days that I have to carry just a little bit more. If I wanted to use this for minimal travel, you have a little bit more flexibility. So both seem like great options, but for me, that flexibility and just the smaller sizes that this can get to make a lot of sense, and it's something that's going to be very easy to use for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Jumping into the organizational options, the layout here is mostly unchanged from the previous edition as well. You still have this cool quick access pocket on the front, which is kind of a spin on Mystery Ranch's tri-zip opening that we see on a lot of their backpacks. So you have the dual zippers on the side that are secured with this magnetic buckle. It's very easy to use this pull tab to quickly release this and then tear this up. Works very smoothly. As you can see, this is a great pocket when I'm holding this like a briefcase. I can just reach down and grab whatever I need. You have kind of this open area here, which does have some volume, so you can place some thicker items if you need to. At the moment, I just kind of rested my GoPro at the bottom there, as well as my Tom Ben handy little thing pouch. And then at the bottom here, I also have my portable battery, but then you also have some pretty good internal organization here. A couple of slip pockets on the left. I have this larger one that does have some elasticity, so this kind of stretches out to mold to whatever you're going to be storing there. At the moment, I have just some sunglasses with their case that fit in there very easily, and then a similar compartment next to that where I just have a lightning cable with the power brick to charge my phone. And then you also have a mesh zippered pocket that's just great for holding some of the items that might be floating around. The orientation on this is also such that this might be a good pocket if you're carrying this like a backpack. That's one of the things that you'll notice as we go through all the pockets, that there's always a bit of a trade-off depending on how you're carrying it. But this offers a pretty good amount of space. At the moment, I just have a little manicure set I typically have with me, and then a deck of playing cards. The next area we're going to be taking a look at is the laptop compartment, and I always like when there is a separate compartment, as it makes it very easy to reach my device, particularly if I'm using this as a travel bag. Very nice to be able to rest this down or place this on my suitcase with the luggage pass-through and grab my device while going through TSA. And so I really like the orientation here if you're using this like a briefcase. This is one of those areas where it could start to get a little tricky if you're carrying this like a backpack. You can reach in and grab it, but there's no strap to secure your device, so you do want to be careful that it doesn't slide out accidentally. As far as the sleeve itself, it offers a pretty good amount of padding, similar to the ones that we've seen in Mystery Ranch's other bags, so there's some rigidity here. It's pulled up a little bit off the bottom of the ground. It's not quite as high as I typically would like to see, especially, yeah, there's a little bit of distance here, but still would have liked to have seen that pulled up just slightly more, just to give some additional peace of mind. This can hold probably up to a 15-inch laptop, maybe a 16-inch. I think it would start to get a little bit tight. Currently, I have a 13-inch MacBook Air, but you can see there's some leftover space here. Very easy to actually get this in and out. And now, with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. No sort of fleece lining or anything like that, but with just how much this comes up, if you happen to have a thicker device or you want to use a case with your laptop, should be able to fit in there pretty comfortably. And it does feel like my device is going to be well protected while I'm on the go. And then last thing to call out here is that on the other side, you do have some pretty big slip pockets where you could store maybe some pouches or other bulkier accessories. I never put anything too bulky as I don't want pressure against the laptop. At the moment, what I have here is the laptop charger for my device, just to kind of keep it together with my laptop. And then on the other side, I have my Apple Magic Mouse, but you can see just how comically large these are for the items that I was storing. So it might be a good spot for document, for a notebook, maybe for your tablet, if you don't want to use some of the other compartments that are provided, and then if you don't want to use these, they just kind of stay out of the way. The last area we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment. Like the laptop sleeve, I feel like this works better when you're using the bag in briefcase mode or shoulder bag mode, as everything is just oriented in such a way that it's easy to reach down and grab. Again, as a backpack, it can just be awkward and potentially have things falling out. So that's one of the trade-offs with any hybrid style bag. And you have a good amount of just open space in this area. Right now the bag is compressed down to its 18-liter size, and even with that, because of the layout, it can still handle some bulkier accessories pretty comfortably. So at the moment, I have my packable rain jacket, I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter, I have my Beat Studio wireless headphones, and then I also have my larger TomTalk Tech pouch. Now the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. So it does come up a pretty decent amount. Even when compressed down, I could still probably toss in a packing cube and some accessories. But the cool thing about the smaller version this time around, like with the previous edition, is that you have the ability to expand. So it has this additional zipper along the outside, which you can bring all the way around, and that's about the amount of additional volume that it adds. So it's still not a huge bag by any means, but that's definitely a nice amount of flexibility for tossing in not only my packing cube, but an extra pair of shoes, a dop kit, and some additional accessories that I could use this for a weekend trip. And then on the other side of the main compartment, you do have a little bit of additional organization. You have one mesh zippered pocket here, which is going to be a good spot for any smaller items that you don't want loose floating around, something that's not in a pouch. At the moment, what I have here is a Field Notes notebook, as well as a backup pair of wired headphones. And then next to that, you have a pretty interesting slip pocket here. It's got a good amount of elasticity, as well as this soft but durable material. And an interesting thing here is the back is kind of this soft fleece lining, so feels like it'll help prevent against scratching. To me, this is a good spot for something like a smaller tablet. That's what I currently have here, my iPad mini. You can see it fits in there comfortably. I don't know if a larger tablet would fit in here, even with the elasticity. So, it worked out perfectly for this size of tablet. Again, it's nice to have this kind of softer backing to add a little bit more protection. And then if you don't want to use these, they just kind of stay out of the way. So I like the simpler layout that's provided in this main compartment and the organization throughout the rest of the bag. Everything is pretty well thought out. And if you're looking for a durable kind of work and EDC bag that can be used as a briefcase and a shoulder bag, but that still gives you the flexibility of a backpack as well as the ability to expand, and this is going to be a really great option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the updated version of the Mystery Ranch 3-way expandable briefcase. You can currently purchase this on the company site for about $200, so definitely a bit of an investment. This is a really well-built bag and it has a nice feature set, but there's going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, this definitely reminded me of some of the great new bags that Mystery Ranch has released as of late, particularly the District 24. They're not similar as far as their form factor necessarily, as that is a more traditional backpack, but it is a very functional bag that actually comes in at a lower price point than this. Very comfortable harness system overall, really great organizational layout, good laptop protection. It's got the ability to open up clamshell style, has external water bottle pockets, so it checks off a lot of the boxes for what I look for out of a useful everyday bag. It's offered in a 24 and an 18-liter version depending on what you need. So if you like Mystery Ranch's quality and style, but you want something that's more of a traditional backpack, then that's going to be a fantastic option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Aer Flight Pack 3, which, like this one, can be used as a shoulder bag, a briefcase. It's got the same level of flexibility, but that one has more of a backpack style layout. Whereas this one, you can kind of hold as a briefcase and access all the organization. That one, everything is more vertically oriented. It also has a more comfortable harness system, a breathable back panel, and it's got a little bit more of a sleeker professional vibe. Great laptop protection and always awesome organization and weather resistance from air. So if you're looking for something with this level of functionality that has a slightly different organizational layout and a more professional look, then that's gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Osprey Daylight 26+6 travel pack. I was really impressed with that bag overall. Like this one, it has the ability to expand and compress. That one actually opens up like a suitcase so that you can pack it out a little easier. It has compression straps, so it is a little more of a travel backpack than something like this, but when compressed down to its 26-liter size, it's a very capable day bag. It's got a comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, well-padded laptop compartment, pretty simple organizational layout, but still very useful. External water bottle pocket, so checks off a lot of the same boxes as this. And it still provides that level of expandability. It's fairly lightweight, pretty affordable, and so if you're looking for something with this level of flexibility, but that's still more of a traditional kind of travel backpack or travel pack, and that's gonna be one of the best options to check out. With that being said, the updated edition of the 3-way expandable briefcase holds up really well against all those options, and if you're looking for a durable and flexible bag that's gonna offer a nice amount of organization and protection for your essentials, this is gonna be a really great option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the 3-way expandable briefcase and how it compares to some of the other popular tech and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.